Good morning, good morning, good morning. I guess you know I'm off today. I have an appointment and I'm going to try to get to court. So, hello everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. First of all, I want to start by saying I listened to Brooks Live yesterday. When I went in her chat, I was on a phone call and I didn't get a chance to hear it. So, I went back and I replayed it and I heard her tell me that I was going to fuss at her. No, I'm not. You do what you have to do. If someone is lying and throwing malicious allegations at me without any proof, I will go balls to the wall myself. So you do what you have to do to defend yourself and your family. So that's all I have to say on that. So good morning, Mustang Sally. Good morning, Crafting with Amanda Panda ASMR. I enjoyed watching you do your diamond painting yesterday. Good morning, Cyber Hotline. Good morning, Michelle LaBelle. Good morning, Jennifer Positivity and Crazy Cat Mama. So come out the bushes, come out the bushes. I see you. Don't you know I can see my viewers? I can see who's watching the video. So before we go any further, I wanted to say that they found the blanket for Elijah. They found the blanket that he had with him, and it's been confirmed that it was his blanket. The blanket was found 3.7 miles from where he was reported missing from. So they just found the blanket. They didn't find Elijah. Thank you, Crafting with Amanda Panda. I appreciate that. And just like you are always welcome here. So I wanted to bring you that, but they still haven't found Elijah. And it's been a little over 4 weeks, and they're still searching for him. So it's been over 4 weeks. This 3-year-old little boy, come on now. And I also want to mention, after I watched Brooks Live, and the reason that I knew that TL was live because of what Brooks said on her live. So I went in and I listened for a bit, and of course, I fell asleep. She had Sebastian's father on panel, Seth, I think his name was, and he was speaking of his son. And when I heard him speaking about his son in the past tense, I knew he knew that young man was no longer with us. I listened for a while and I was like, okay, I can't anymore. So I will have to go back and listen. And then I guess I missed the part where the grandmother came up. I guess she had been live for like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours before, because I was listening to Brooke, and Brooke's live was like an hour and a half long. So, but I listened to Brooke's whole live, and that's the first for me, because I'm normally in and out and I'll pause it, but I had to listen to it, especially after she said, Heidi, you're going to be mad at me. And I'm like, wait, what am I going to be mad about? So I listened to her live. Good morning, Susan Pachata. Good morning, Christoph. Michelle LaBelle. Good morning, Dan, Claudia. So I have something this morning that is really, really disturbing. And I was going to do Lacey Peterson this morning. I have the autopsy stuff. I have all of that, but I never know what's a good time to do this. So I pushed it back to like 11:30. I think I might move it to later on this afternoon because I don't know what time I'll be getting back here. But I think I will move that when I get off of here. I think it's interesting that we need to hear how her body was recovered, what condition it was in. Now, they were saying that she had no limbs and it was just a torso. She didn't have her head. She had her left leg, well, most of it. Her right leg was really not there. She has part of her arm, so I'm going to do that later on. Yes, it does. I heard him. I heard he was trying to keep himself calm. I heard the anger in his voice. Um, she wasn't dismembered. No. My heart breaks for Seth and his family. I believe the stepfather and father did something. And I think he knows that. Who calls 911 on a three-way call? Since I heard that, I've had bad feelings. I've had bad feelings since I heard he went missing and he wasn't found. So he knows they've done something to his child. He knows that. And I understand that he's a police officer or he works in law enforcement. And for him to have the restraint that he does, it's amazing. And I applaud him. I heard somebody ask a question about his wife being a swinger, his ex-wife. He said he knows nothing about that. But for the most part, a lot of the questions that I did hear were was legit questions. So I definitely have to go back and listen to that. I agree because I don't think I could I couldn't keep myself together. I couldn't keep myself together with that. And then the mother who I have two things that I really wanted to go over with you. I'm going to save the mother and the sentencing, the woman that left, and damn it, Mandy, I had it. When I heard she was convicted yesterday, I had it. I had already had it pulled. But I want you to hear the police officers in court describing what they found. But before we get there, I want to tell you about this woman, a mother of a 3-year-old that was tortured and awed to death by 8 people. 8 people. I'm going to tell you about this woman. And it's really, really sad. This happened in Alabama. And let me get to... I have the pictures of all of them pulled up. So let me get there really, really quick. Hold on a second. Let me get there because I want to show you these people. Oh, God. Let me share my screen. Let me take Mahogany down. And damn it, I just got rid of them. You see when shit bugs me? It really, really bugs me. I just hold on a second. Let me pull it again. I want you to see these people that did this to this woman. This was so disgusting. Let me pull these pictures. Let me get to the gallery. Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. So, here's what I want to show you. These are the people that tortured this woman to death. So what happened was Mahogany was 20. She was found dead February 26th. She endured days of torture. They videotaped it. They videotaped the torture that they did to this young woman, mother of a 3-year-old. Her 3-year-old daughter name is Nadia. So what happened was she went to confront one person in this gang about a gun. And this happened in Birmingham. The person she went to confront, the guy's name was Pope. She went to confront him on February 24th over a stolen weapon that she believed he had in his possession. She went on to take the gun and ordered Pope to strip to prove he was not in possession of the weapon in question. It was then that the argument turned vindictive. He yelled, "Kill her or do something to her. That bitch made me strip." That's what he said. They said it was then that Jackson was apprehended and kidnapped by the group, moved to multiple locations throughout February 24th and the 25th while enduring hours of torture. Footage, they videotaped it, showed Lewis and McCall stomping and spitting at Jackson while she was left helpless on the ground outside of Pope's house. Following this, Jackson was then sexually assaulted by multiple members of the group as she was still on the ground. At one point, Lewis was seen straddling Jackson, beating her in the face and head with his fist. To make the encounter more terrifying, Jackson was actively trying to seek help from family as she snuck texts to people asking them to send police to her aid. "Send police, apartment 3 held hostage. Don't call," Mahogany messaged her mother on February 25th. The message was occupied by Jackson sending her location as well. This is the communication that launched her original missing persons case. Jackson pled for her release throughout her assault, telling the group they had won and asking them to let her go. When the perpetrators were finished with their torment at Pope's house, they dragged the woman by her hair to a vehicle and put her in the trunk. They then brought her to a new location, Serenity Apartments, where Lewis and McCall lived together. In the series of 4 videos, her assault at the apartment complex was documented. One instance caught on camera showed Jackson being forced at gunpoint to perform oral sex on one of the women in the group. Good morning, Carol Mahale. Good morning, Maria Haskins. Good morning. In the video, someone can be heard instructing Jackson to hurry up because she had another one to perform oral sex on. The sexual assault then escalated with Jackson in handcuffs as Green raped her on video, though in court he claimed it was consensual. During the act, Clapp, I'm going to show you all of these people, was heard egging on assault, telling Jackson that she better do it right. After being told to clean herself up in the bathroom, the group began packing to leave the apartment. Harry said, "She ain't going nowhere." Harry said, "She ain't going nowhere." So needless to say, Harris shoots Jackson in the back of the head, execution style. Her body was found under 2 mattresses at a dump in Birmingham, Alabama. So these are the people. This is Blair Green, Giovanni Clapp, Tasia Lewis, who got oral sex. She was roommates in a Birmingham apartment where much of the torture took place. Saya McCall, Frances Harris, who shot her in the back of the head. Brandon Pope, he's been charged with first-degree kidnapping and capital murder. Jeremiah McDowell, 18, charged with first-degree kidnapping and capital murder. Police believe he was part of the group that took Jackson from the Serenity Apartments building to where she was fatally shot. And this is Mahogany. That's Mahogany. This is the apartment where most of the torture took place. That's Mahogany. As I told you, she leaves behind a 3-year-old daughter. Her name is Nadia. And that, let me show you the dirty mattress. The mattress here's where she was found. Jackson's body was found in the early morning hours the next day under a mattress at an illegal dump site in the 1700 block of Laurel Avenue that is known as Dead Man's Row. That's where they was found. That's where she was found. So you have 8 people who no longer, and this is Alabama, they're not going to see the light of day. And you dumbasses said this was consensual when they have you on video raping and torturing this woman, all because you stole a weapon from her and she wanted it back. And get this, these were her friends. I forgot to tell you that. These were her friends that did this to her. Her friends. With friends like that, God damn, we don't need enemies. We really, really don't. Then we have this one. Let me get this out the way so we can go on to the other one. This bitch is crazy. I had this for like 2 weeks, and I just never could fit it in. But this morning is the morning I can fit it in. Let me get this. I'm sure I knew we were. Let me turn this one sound. Won't let me turn the sound off. So hold on. Let me just get this out there.
A woman faces child neglect charges after officers say she tried to sell her child and then abandoned them in Palatka. According to the Palatka Police Department, 33-year-old Jessica Woods was seen walking around a business with her 18-month-old daughter. When an employee asked if they needed help, Woods allegedly offered to sell her daughter for $500.
Does she look like she's drugged out? Look at this woman. She offered to sell her child for $500. And this was in front of a Caldwell banker. They keep calling it a bank, but it's really a real estate company. It's a mortgage company.
When the employee refused, Woods abandoned the girl. The child was put into the custody of the Department of Children and Families and then placed in foster care.
So that was that story. Now let's get to the Alabama woman. Let's get, not the Alabama, Ohio. Let's get to her because this is the woman that thought that her vacation to Puerto Rico and Michigan was more important. And she left her daughter at home in a playpen for 10 days. 10 days. And she's on the beach taking pictures of herself, enjoying her life, just having a damn good time. So here we go. There she is. Look at her smile. Do you see her smirking and smiling? Girl, I thought the same thing, Jennifer. I thought the same damn thing when I saw her eyebrows. Then it reminded me of the lady from Love After Lockup who was with John. Forgot her name. It's not Catherine because she's back in jail now. Oh, and Maurice and Mandy. You know, Maurice from Love After Lockup. He was with Jessica. They were arrested. I have them on my Vine thing. And let me tell you what they're charged with before I go any further. Let me pull this up in my email. The Vine. Hold on. Yes, it's called the Vine. Vine. Okay. Let's see. Her name is Amanda Orr. And she's been charged with grand theft auto. This shit, you can't make this shit up. You cannot make this up. Amanda Orr has been charged with grand theft auto, larceny. So they were stealing out of stores. I guess they had this operation, this ring, and she was in jail with no bail along with Maurice. So they're still there. You can check out the Vine. This is Los Angeles, and that's what she's in for. Now, I don't know who has her daughter, but she was arrested. Good morning, Erin. How are you? Yep, she left her alone for 10 days. Let me make this bigger. And let's go.
Open pursuant to adjournment, the Honorable Judge Brendan J.
Thank you.
She was smirking when she walked in the court. Look at this beautiful little girl.
Okay, good morning. We're here today on the state of Ohio versus Crystal Candelaria. That's you, Ms. Candelaria.
Oh, I got to put up my trigger
Case
warning.
number 23-682-241. Representing you, Ms. Candelaria, is Mr. Derek Smith and Mr. PJ Mulligan. Representing the state of Ohio is Ms. Anna Ferelia and Ms. Jordan Mason. Before we start, we've had numerous pre-trials on this matter. And
Told you it's Ohio.
we have an
Hi, Maria, my
interpreter that's
dog.
been involved in all the proceedings. And Robert is here. Robert, do you want to stand up? Robert, you've been involved with the court. Your training and credentials as an interpreter has been reviewed by
Okay,
this court.
I ain't got time for all of that.
And
Let's just
Crystal Candelaria's actions. And anybody that knows me or has been in this courthouse would know that I talk about actions in all my cases, because as adults, we are responsible for our actions and there are consequences to our actions. So let us begin on this faithful day that Jaylene Candelaria lost her life.
Yep, let's go.
If in fact we would have gone to trial, the evidence was going to show that Crystal Candelaria.
Now, she didn't go to trial. She pled guilty. That's why she's at the sentencing now. She did not go to trial. So let's go.
Left the state of Ohio on 6/4/2023. She leaves because there is a receipt that's found in her car that she is in Taylor, Michigan.
Yep.
Unbeknownst to Ms. Candelaria, her neighbors had Ring doorbell, and the Cleveland Police Department homicide unit has gone through 648 hours and videos of the Ring doorbell, which you're going to see in this presentation. With regards to Ms. Candelaria, she returns to Cuyahoga County on 6/6 at 7:41 a.m. So at this particular point, we have reason to believe that this child was left alone for 2 days now, and she returns on 6/6/2023. Additional cameras show her again at 11:51 on 6/6 and on 5/24 of 6/6. She is taking a suitcase and now leaving Cuyahoga County. We have a map and a flock camera which shows her on, I believe it's Lafayette and Charter, northbound,
Lafayette.
at 66 at 20.05, which is 8:05 p.m. And that's a flock camera.
Hi, Bombshell. How are
Through
you,
the search warrants,
beautiful?
we were able to retrieve her
I got to catch your last
Spirit
live. I was asleep. I'm
airline
going to
tickets
catch
that
it.
showed her departure and her return from Puerto Rico. She was gone from 6/8 to 6/11.
She took Spirit. Look at her flying first class.
And it's interesting, Your Honor, because in the defense memorandum, it says that her abrupt stopping of medications played a significant role in her ability to function as a parent and make sound decisions.
Bullshit. You made sound decision when you left your daughter alone for 2 days, went to Michigan, came home, and then left again and went to Puerto Rico. Did you feed your daughter when you were home for just that day and a half? Did you feed her? Did you change her diaper? But then you took your ass and got in the car at 8:05 p.m. heading to the fucking airport so you can take your happy ass to Puerto Rico. Bitch, you deserve the sentence you received.
So when we look at, these are items from her phone, her actions indicate to us that she is in Puerto Rico having a good time with friends, and that there is not a care in the world about the 16-month-old that was left alone in the pack and play. These pictures show somebody who is showing some discretion and judgment because she's having a good time.
Thank you. I want to say one thing before I continue. Jennifer, if you didn't catch Bomb's live on Risa Tessa, you need to catch it. When her opinions and I was rolling. I was laughing so hard. I hear all these people feeling bad for her and this and that. Hell no. I like Bomb's take on it. And I'm like, shit, we are aligned because she knew exactly what she had and she was in it for the money.
Meanwhile, this child is in a pack and play. She returns to Detroit. And while she is in Puerto Rico, the detectives were able to locate on the ring doorbell that on 6/9/2023 at around 1:04 a.m. in the morning that you hear this child crying.
Oh my God, you do hear the baby. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes, she did. She did a live on her. That's why I saved it. I wanted to do it with you guys. I started watching, and then I got to the part where the cop came up and I couldn't take no more. So I said I was going to finish watching it with you guys. You hear the baby crying, and you hear the baby crying. Look at them. Look at them. They can't say shit. But when a cop got up and thanked all the officers, I had to stop. And I said I was going to share it with you guys today. Look at her eyes. Look at them. They are just like
So
dumbfounded.
now we have Miss Candelaria's car. She's returned from Michigan, from Puerto Rico back to Michigan, where she was with one fellow, and then traveled to go see another fellow traveled to Imlay, Michigan to be with another fellow. So that's from 6:12 to 6:15. Her car is found on all these flock cameras. Not once is she returning to Cuyahoga County.
Nope.
Now we turn our attention to June 16th at 7:36 a.m. She is back in Cuyahoga County. Her car reappears in front of her house. She goes in and she finds her daughter dead. She takes the time to redress her, and then she calls 911.
Friday, June 16, 2023, 07:47 and 26 seconds. Please release dispatcher phone call. Do you need police, fire, or EMS?
I'm sorry. Did you hear her clear her throat before they picked up? I keep telling anybody, when you call 911, soon as that phone starts ringing, you are recorded. She cleared her throat. Listen.
6 seconds. Please release dispatcher
Clear
phone
her
call.
throat.
Do you need police, fire, or EMS?
Okay, let's listen again.
6 seconds.
Did you hear it? Clear her throat. Good morning, Nancy.
What's that?
Yep, before it rings, it's recording. Nobody understands that. This bitch cleared her throat. She was faking. She redressed her dead baby. You call 911, and then you start screaming and acting like this. This is what she did. So.
I don't know where you're at, so tell me the address so we can help you. Okay, is there a single subword apartment? What's your name? Crystal. What's your last name, Crystal? Crystal Candelaria, please tell me. And what's your number in case you get
Yep, exactly, Jennifer.
Tell me what's going on.
So, Muggsy, I want to say something to you since you're in here. You promised me that you would stop. You promised me that you weren't going to be saying any more bad things, Muggsy. And I see all this stuff you're posting, Muggsy. Come on now. You're better than that. Stop that.
What's going on?
Look at her. Thank you, Lexi. Thank you, Jennifer.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a few moments to calm down. Crystal. Please listen to me so I can help you.
This one lawyer right here can't believe what he's hearing. This man is just perplexed. He's probably asking himself, why in the fuck am I sitting here? You see, he has a wedding ring on. He probably has kids. And he's sitting there going, why in the fuck am I sitting next to this goddamn monster?
I understand you. Tell me who's right. Who's right? Please. Your mom? Is it your mom? I am mom. Yes. I am mom. You live here? My mother is dying. Your mother is dying. She's dying. She's dying.
My mother is dying. She's dying. Please, I need help.
How old is she? I'm gonna get you over in my
Making ass bitch. Fake ass
And then
bitch.
she's so overwrought with emotion on June 17th that she picks up and goes back to Michigan to meet up, not with the guy that she had gone to Puerto Rico with, but the other guy that she was seeing. And in her house during a search warrant, there was found this notebook that had written harm from neglect.
Oh my God.
This is the location where Jaylene was housed for 10 days without anybody being present, any adult, in a 3x2 pack and play with maybe a bottle or two of milk and maybe some crackers. And the mattress that was found was urine laden and feces strewn throughout the pack and play. Now, this is where it begins, Your Honor. I come from an Italian Catholic family, and both my parents were immigrants and they spoke broken English. And we have this good interpreter that has been with us during this whole case. This is the very first interview, the crying of the 911, and this is the first interview that she has with a detective from homicide. Again, pay attention to her actions and how she speaks to this detective.
But in the last week, she get a vomiting too. Remember right now when you mentioned the vomiting.
So right now that you mentioned the vomiting, yeah, she vomited.
The last week, Monday and Tuesday, two times. But I was trying controlling because I know
she wasn't there.
Her Tylenol or something, for controlling the vomiting.
Okay. Come on, sir. This is my supervisor, Sergeant Gomez.
I'm telling you, I need to her when she got a crying or vomit. Hola, ¿qué tal?
Soy la enfermera de la operación que tengo una
Well, just to take note, Your Honor, she's
So
sitting in
yeah,
the chair.
that's the situation, and after that, she was refusing to do the food, and she was with no appetite.
She wasn't fucking
I
there.
said, oh my God.
This is after last Monday and Tuesday when she was throwing up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you talking about Monday and Tuesday, like 4 days ago?
Yeah,
Okay.
the last week, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because we're almost done this week, so
Are you fucking kidding me? Look at her. Look at her. She's trying to play Mother of the Year when the bitch wasn't even home. She wasn't even home. What did you think was going to happen leaving that baby by herself? You stupid bitch.
I talk about,
Because what this week?
I'm sorry.
This week. Yeah, I talk about because we almost done,
Oh, we're almost done with this.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that was just Monday and Tuesday of this week. She was throwing up.
Yes.
And then how was she Wednesday and Thursday?
She was with no food, just with a meal because she was refusing. Maybe it's because she get a vomiting 2 days, before.
Yeah.
So that's why
What,
that was scary, because I say, oh my God, I need to go to the hospital because she doesn't eat anything. And she was lose tiny, her weight.
Yeah.
I lose, her weight. But right now, this morning when I wake up, she was asleep. She sleeps every day 12 hours.
okay,
She sleep like at 9, 8 p.m. through 9 or 10 a.m.
okay.
12 hours. So in this morning, I was sleeping too. I never wake up. She was
What happened? What was going on last night?
last night. She was crying a lot, and I see one moment when I was take a shower, and she was screaming like I don't know, probably she get a pain,
Okay.
maybe.
About what time was that last night?
Maybe at 7 or 8 p.m.
Okay.
So she was screaming like probably for pain.
This bitch said last night she was screaming when your ass got home at 7:35 in the fucking morning. Any mother whose child is screaming and they think they're in pain would have taken the child to the hospital. But you, little bitch, you were not home. You were in Puerto Rico with a man that you met, that you were fucking, then fucking another man. You're a disgusting piece of shit.
Or something like that. In this morning when I wake up, I took her in the morning for JD, wake up, and she wake up, and when I see her, I see she looks like a really, really dry, like ¿cómo se dice cuando una persona se chupa, o sea, yes.
Not one tear, not one tear.
Me asusté y dije,
And then she is then brought into homicide. She's arrested and brought into homicide and has another conversation with Sergeant Gomez and Detective Powell.
She wasn't home.
And she continues now to perpetuate.
She was crying last night.
What time did you go to Detroit, Michigan on Monday? Monday morning? Okay. On Monday morning, what condition was Jamie? She was okay. Was she awake, asleep?
No, she wasn't sleeping.
She was sleeping when you left? Sorry.
Let me tell you something. Even if she went to Puerto Rico, well, we already know she went to Puerto Rico. Even when she got there, she could have called her mom. She could have called the fire station. She could have called someone and said, hey, I left my baby home by herself. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that, but I needed to get away. Anything to save that child's life. If you had a ring cam in your home and you looking at it on your phone, and if you seeing all of this, I'm just saying, it doesn't say that she had a ring cam or she had any kind of surveillance or anything else in her home. This is me. If you know you're going to do this, I would have put something in there. You didn't care about that child. She could have called her mother. She could have called her neighbor. She could have called a friend. She could have called anyone to say, I left my baby home. I'm in Puerto Rico. Please, someone go and get my baby. The police station, anyone. You would have been in trouble, but not like this, honey. Not like this.
You went there on Monday at what time?
Yeah, the neighbor heard the baby crying. They played it at 1 something in the morning. The baby was crying and screaming. It's on the ring cam. They played it. When court first started, they played it.
Early in the morning, but when you left out, you were sleeping in her playpen? Okay. So, you go to Michigan. What time did you arrive in Michigan?
Through here. Apenas llegué a Michigan.
Okay. So you get there, when you arrive there, who you meet up with?
Good morning, JL.
Yo llegué a un hotel, pero yo trabajaba de Uber, así que yo me puse a trabajar directamente en Uber.
She stayed at a hotel and she right away started working at Uber.
Pero ya después fui a visitar a otras amistades alrededor.
Not a tear. She has no tears, no nothing for what this child went through.
David.
Look at the judge.
So you arrived in 2 hours later, you get a hotel. What did you say?
No me recuerdo bien la ciudad que estaba ni el hotel.
Okay, come on. Todavía went to Detroit, Michigan, you don't know what city, you don't know what hotel, you gotta come out with something better.
No,
Okay.
pero el hotel donde él se estaba quedando,
No.
Super Nate.
Where you were staying, not David, where you were staying. We're not talking about David.
Super Nate, that's it.
Super 8? Alright, so you arrived in 2 hours later, you said it's Super 8, you mentioned something about Uber.
Yo estaba trabajando en Uber, sí.
She was working. Why would you go, hold on. Why would you go work Uber in Detroit, Michigan,
Porque yo
instead of doing it here in Cleveland,
Sí,
where
porque
your buyers?
yo también trabajaba aquí en Uber, aquí en Cleveland.
Okay, why go over there, not do it here? Why not do it here? Your daughter's here.
Porque me iba a ver amistades también en Michigan, entonces aproveché.
Friends over there in Michigan, so she took advantage of the fact that she was over there to visit people while she worked over there.
Pero no era siempre que lo hacía.
But not always. That's not, she didn't do that always.
And I'll say this the wrong way. At what point did you think that it would make sense to leave her here while you was in Detroit?
She understood what he said.
¿En qué momento tú pensaste que está bien,
Por pasear, por
to travel,
por pasear,
Why not travel with you?
¿Por qué no llegaste a ir contigo?
porque yo pensaba el viernes y ya quedarme con ella, o sea, era algo rápido, eventual, que no.
She said that because she had planned on returning on Friday and spending time with them, so
Porque no me iba a quedar en la casa de nadie,
she
como
wasn't gonna stay in anybody's house.
But why not bring her with you if you already knew that she had a condition going on at the time?
Si tú sabías que ella ya tenía una condición, estaba enfermita,
She needed
¿por qué no llevarla contigo?
porque por eso mismo, por yo pasear, por
Hi, Boston Beauty by KK.
And this is the second interview that she had.
Not one tear.
Asking your mother to purchase the second, you took out money for the ATM machine, that's what you used.
siempre la uso para
Alright, so let's just start, we're gonna wrap up some stuff here. Okay, so you were at your house in June 16th, okay, the day we were there. You woke up at 7:20 in the morning, right?
Él me estaba diciendo acerca de que tiene todo mi seguimiento.
Okay.
Él me dijo hace un momento en inglés
¿Qué tiene que?
que tiene todo mi seguimiento de donde yo me movilicé.
JL.
Yeah, we have you on video, your car coming home at 7:36 in the morning.
So you weren't home, lying bitch.
You leaving your house and when? What's the video gonna show us? When we look at this video some more,
Okay,
okay? Cuando nosotros empezamos a ver el video, okay? ¿Qué ese video nos va a enseñar a nosotros? ¿A qué hora tú saliste de tu casa y cuándo? Nos está enseñando tú regresando a las 7:36 de la mañana. Pero a qué hora tú saliste. ¿Y qué día?
First of all, did these men know she had a baby? Did these men know she had a baby? And did they ever ask her where was her child, or did they care? That's something that's really bothering me. Did they know she had a child? Where is her family? Why wasn't the child with her family? These are the questions that bother me. Besides the fact that you left your kid alone for 10 fucking days as you were whoring and in Puerto Rico, and then you're going to lie and tell me you woke up and she was deceased. Lying bitch.
trying to think about it really good because the video does not lie. What is the video gonna show us? Is the video gonna show us that you left your house on Friday? Because it's showing you coming back, but when is it showing you leaving? We're gonna look at the video and it's gonna show us and it's not gonna lie. Think about your answer. Think about your answer. Eso es la oportunidad tuya para decirnos la verdad, porque nosotros vamos a ver el video. Sí, y si no nos está diciendo la verdad, lo vamos a ver. Y vamos a ver que tú no estás mintiendo. Sí, y él está diciendo que va
Damn, KK. See, they don't mention another child. They don't mention another child.
So, Your Honor, with regards to Jaylene Candelario, she died a very awful death for being 16 months old. Dr. Elizabeth Mooney from the medical examiner's office is here and would like to make a statement. She was the medical examiner that did the autopsy, and the state of Ohio is going to provide you the autopsy and autopsy photographs to make this part of the sentencing record. Dr. Mooney?
For the record, we'll call this
State's Exhibit
State's
1.
Exhibit 1.
Oh, I love that dress she has on.
Good morning.
Hi, Doctor. For the record, can you say your name and spell it for the record?
Yes, my name is Dr. Elizabeth Mooney, and it's spelled Mooney. I am currently employed by Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner's Office as a forensic pathologist and deputy medical examiner. In this capacity, I was assigned the task of performing an autopsy on little girl Jaylene Candelario in order to determine her cause and manner of death. Unfortunately, this is one of the most tragic and unfortunate cases I've had in my career thus far. So today I speak on behalf of her and her findings with the course of my examination. We received Jaylene at the medical examiner's office from the scene of her residence, at which time she was clothed in non-soiled clothing, indicating her body had likely been dressed prior to first responders' arrival, as they had mentioned before. So at autopsy, I examined the body of a very emaciated female toddler. At this point, she weighed 13 pounds. Upon review of medical records, this indicated approximately a 7-pound weight loss since her previous doctor's visit less than 2 months prior to that. The eyes were sunken and she had temporal wasting in her face. In addition to that, the skin showed markedly decreased turgor, meaning when I pinch the skin, it remains in that tented position, indicating severe dehydration. In
That's how I
addition,
check to
there
see if I'm
was
dehydrated.
fecal material present caked on the fingers, the fingernails, the hands, the feet, as well as the soles of the feet. The same material was found on her lips, which were very dry and flaking, as well as in her oral cavity, caked to her teeth. She did have some diaper rash appearance, as well as fecal material adherent to those areas. Of note, the body was essentially free of significant injury, with the exception of dried excoriations or scratches to the face region predominantly, and whether or not these were inflicted to herself in a conscious or semi-conscious state while she was dying, I'm unable to determine that. Very early decompositional changes were present. This included faint discoloration or green discoloration of the abdomen. These are typically changes that we see within 2 to 3 days following death. No additional changes to suggest that she passed away prior to this were found externally or internally. Upon internal examination, I continued to find evidence consistent with starvation and dehydration. These included pale discoloration of the musculature, which was minimal. There was a decrease in intra-abdominal fat to the point of transparency as her body tried to feed upon itself for nutrients.
Oh my God.
Her stomach contents consisted of less than 2 milliliters of brown mucoid material. This is about equivalent to the distal part of my thumb, a very small amount. The rest of her bowel just contained patchy fecal material, but very minimal throughout. Her organs, including her liver, kidneys, and thymic gland, showed evidence of stress, specifically microscopically on exam. I found no additional evidence of significant natural disease going on or congenital abnormalities. Following my exam, I submitted body fluids for additional toxicology and chemistry testing, which further confirmed my gross findings that she had passed in a state of severe dehydration. Her kidneys had failed, and she was in a state of ketoacidosis, which leads to coma and eventually death. As such, I determined the cause of death to be just that, starvation and severe dehydration due to pediatric neglect. To come to the exact wording, the cause of death was based on my findings, but also the medical definitions, which I'd like to reiterate here. Dehydration, and specifically starvation, is a lengthy and continuous deprivation of food as to cause suffering or death. Pediatric neglect is the failure of a caregiver to meet adequately a child's basic needs, including physical safety, protection, food, clothing, shelter, education, medical or dental care, and supervision. In other words, neglect for Jalen's basic needs from a caregiver resulted in her death. As such, I ruled this manner to be homicide. Most homicide deaths involve acts of violence inflicted from one person onto another, but this case involves a failure to act appropriately to support another who is dependent on them, falling into a homicidal manner. In the absence of more advanced decompositional changes, I believe that the pain and suffering she endured lasted not only hours, not days, but possibly even a week. This is a pain that comes from an extreme thirst and hunger. It also stems from an inherent terror of isolation or the lack of someone present to provide them. My knowledge on the depth of this suffering may not be as extensive as a medical or a mental health professional, but as a physician with psychiatric and pediatric training, I feel comfortable stating that the deprivation of food coupled with physical isolation and caregiver abandonment would be terrifying. We know that babies and children cry when they're hungry because it's unsettling and it's uncomfortable. That's almost immediately after birth. We also know that children as early as age 4 to 5 months experience separation anxiety, with the most extreme anxiety around 9 to 18 months. Jalen was 16 months old. This feeling of abandonment for days on end, coupled with the pain of starvation and extreme thirst, is a type of suffering I don't think any of us could ever fully fathom.
Nope.
So as a forensic pathologist, it is said that we are the voice of the dead and given the responsibility to speak for those who can't. So this morning, I'm honored to maintain that mission. Thank you.
She didn't even look at her.
In addition, Your Honor, just so the record is very clear, the state of Ohio has tried repeatedly to contact Jalen's extended family, and absolutely no one has called the prosecutor's office, has returned a call from the prosecutor's office, has done nothing to acknowledge that Jaleen was even part of their family. So if people come in this morning, it's going to be on the side of Crystal Candelaria, because on the part of Jaleen, in addition to Dr. Mooney, who speaks for the dead through autopsy findings, Sergeant Teresa Gomez and Detective TJ Powell are going to speak to you. As you also look behind me, it is law enforcement.
When the detective right here, TJ, got up, that's when I had
the FBI,
I had to stop.
the district, from EMS. These are all the people that participated in this case, and that they are here to be the family for Jaleen Candelario, because her own family did not have the courage to call the prosecutor's office and ask what was going on with their case. They were more concerned with their own daughter. TJ is going to, Sergeant is going to speak first. Do you want her to come to the podium?
Absolutely. Same thing, Sergeant, just say your name and spell it for our court reporter so she can have an accurate spelling.
Teresa Gomez, Teresa Gomez. Morning, Your Honor. Your Honor, thank you for allowing me to be the voice for Jaleen Candelario, a beautiful angel whose life was cut short for no good reason. This tragedy should have never happened.
The officers and the medical examiner have more empathy and sympathy for this little girl than her mother did. And to hear that her father's side of the family, and I guess the mother's side is only concerned about Crystal and not what happened to this beautiful little girl. That tells me everything I have to know. She was estranged from her family. So she's probably done something that they didn't want to be bothered with this little girl or her. This is sad.
I am Sergeant Gomez from the homicide
No, this
unit.
was yesterday. It was strange.
The entire homicide unit, Cleveland Homicide Initiative, and our partners from the FBI are here today in honor of baby Jaylee Candelario. When we were first notified of this horrific case, we were all heartbroken. But when we started digging deeper into the investigation, it was beyond horrific. It was revealed that the defendant, Crystal Candelario, left her own child alone for hours, which led to days, which led to weeks. The 16-month-old baby was left alone in a pack and play to fend for herself for 11 days with no food, maybe milk, the clothing she had on, and the diaper she was wearing. This baby loved her mother. She needed her mother, and her mother betrayed her.
Oh my God.
Mothers usually want their children to have a long, happy life, but Candelario placed more importance on a vacation in Puerto Rico with her boyfriend.
That's what I
the
said.
Health, safety, and well-being of her own daughter. She chose to satisfy her own needs and desires over that of her own child.
Fucked up.
Jayleen's life ended because of her selfishness and disregard for Jayleen's precious life. Candelario violated Jayleen yet again when she placed her little body in a clean outfit in order to orchestrate this facade that she was trying to portray for the investigators, either before or after she called 911.
I think it was
Jayleen
before.
told us something different when we saw her eyes sunk in and wide open. We later learned that sunken eyes is a result of severe dehydration. To the naked eye, it appeared she had dirt in her mouth and fingernails. It wasn't until the next day that detectives learned that the dirt, in fact, was feces. Detectives also began to gain clarity as to what really happened to Jayleen. Candelario's fabricated story, which she initially told detectives, began to unravel. There's no way things could have happened the way the defendant said they did, which left us with many unanswered questions.
Yep, her eyes were wide open.
Detectives gained knowledge of the fact that Candelario left Jayleen by herself for more than 10 days. Many hours of video surveillance revealed all of the comings and goings of Candelario from June 5th through June 16th of 2023, when she discovered her daughter deceased. Investigators watched a total of 628 surveillance videos, which also included audio. On June 9th, audio surveillance captured the final time Jayleen is ever heard crying. Myself and the people sitting behind me,
7 days,
many who are mothers and fathers,
maybe 7,
are tormented by the thought of what Jayleen endured and what her last hours on earth were like. Any of us and thousands of others would have jumped at the opportunity to take care of this beautiful little girl.
Yep.
Jayleen died a long and agonizing death, afraid and alone, while her mother enjoyed the beach and sunshine. This is a case that myself, all the people behind me, and everyone around the world will have branded in our minds and in our hearts forever. Jayleen took her last breath, and our only hope is that Jayleen found herself in the arms of Jesus, feeling his warm embrace and love, something she did not receive from her mother.
Not a
Jaylene,
year.
You
Nothing.
will never be forgotten. Thank you, Your Honor.
Look at this other one. This attorney is just like, fuck. His speech got me. They all did. But this
Same thing,
one,
Detective, if you don't mind, just please say and spell your first and last name.
Yes, Detective T.J. Powell, Powell.
now my thing is when I saw his gun, I was like, okay, they're going up to testify. At one point in Houston, they had to check their guns in, but I guess they're allowed in the courtrooms now.
Assigned to the Cleveland Police Homicide Unit. I was the lead detective investigator on this case, and I can honestly say, Your Honor, in my 17-year career as a Cleveland police officer, this by far is the most horrific case I've ever had to investigate. Now, I've been a detective for 10 years. First and foremost, I want to thank the entire homicide unit, the entire Cleveland Police Department, prosecutor's office. As you see, we're here, we're Jaylene's voice. Fortunately, there's no family on our side, but we're her family. I wrote a short poem, just something in
this is
commemoration of Jaylene's life. J is for the justice that'll be received today. A is for the angel wings she earned on that joyful day. I is for the incremental repetition, build up of suspense for an innocent bystander's death that clearly makes no sense. L is for the lack of love while alone for 11 days. Y is for a young life that was taken away. N is for new eternal life Jaylene gained on that day. No child should ever have to die this way. Jaylene's life truly mattered. Unfortunately, she died trying to survive off of her own urine and fecal matter.
Oh my God.
Lastly, Your Honor, you're going to hear that Ms. Candelaria was depressed. And no one more than I appreciate mental health and mental health issues and the programs that this court and my office have tried to implement to help folks with mental health. This is not the case here. This is not the case at all. Her actions speak louder than words. She had the wherewithal to leave Cuyahoga County and drive to Detroit, to be not with one man, but with two, let alone leaving a child, her own flesh and blood, in a pack and play. And during the time that she has been locked up, she has been making plans for the future.
Yep.
Talking to other folks at other jails, other prisons. She had a conversation, which I find more disturbing than not, but on November 26, 2023.
Me too,
instead
Jennifer.
of wrought with emotion, wrought with guilt, crying about the death of her child, she's talking with a friend about her trip to Puerto Rico and what a blast it was and how much the car cost. And they got a truck versus a car, even though it was more expensive. And they were concerned about the other woman that was on the trip because she liked to spend money. And they spent money on food. There was never mention about her daughter in her phone calls. And in fact, on January 6th,
It's like the child never existed.
2024, she's talking to her mother, who she repeatedly talks to. And they talked about God is forgiving, God is this. You also have to take responsibility for your actions. And God isn't in the courtroom. That's why we have judges, and that's why we have the law, because we have to follow the law. But this is what she says, because she wants to make us believe that she doesn't understand the English language. She goes on to say, there are people who have gone free here, killing people. I mean, imagine, intentionally, and mine was practically an accident. Because it was not like I did it intentionally.
Yes,
It's
you
not
did.
like I picked up a gun or a bat or the girl bled or something like that.
The girl.
That's it. It was practically the same thing that happened to me a few days prior. I had the same thing happen to me days prior. And I mean that day that it happened, that same situation happened.
Hi,
Were you
Patricia.
starved when you were in Puerto Rico, Miss Candelaria? Did you not have a glass of water to drink when your mouth was parched? It is really pretty pathetic, Your Honor, because, we always stand before you and say that the purposes and principles of sentencing are to punish the offender and to protect the public. And, in the sentencing memorandum, the defense says, well, she's not going to do it again. Well, no, she's not going to do it again because she's going to prison.
What?
But it's the fact that.
Wait a minute. Her defense team said she's not going to do it again. So that's an excuse? But her mental health, right? Got you. Okay.
She did it in the beginning. That sticks with us. You don't do that. She was a mother. She got a title that means something in this world. Animals take care of their infants better.
Yep.
The thought of this child dying every day while she's having fun, humanity can't stomach that. And those are the actions that need to be punished. She abandoned her daughter and left her for dead. So yeah, she didn't see blood. She didn't see the aftermath of a baseball bat. But what she did see were her eyes open, looking at her saying, why did you do this to me? Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, we're going to turn now to the defense. Mr. Smith.
Now she does start crying when she gets her sentence. Hi, Reagan.
Everything that
I didn't get your email yet.
get into here today, and my client agrees with me, is no justification for her actions. And what the prosecution said, actions matter, and these actions are narcissistic, selfish, abhorrent, absolutely worst parenting imaginable. She pled to aggravated murder. She pled to child endangering. So everything we're about to tell you is mitigation. Just to kind of give you an understanding of who this person is. So she came over from Ecuador 2016 with her grandmother.
Ecuador.
She was here for a few years. Her parents came over and they lived together. She had her first daughter, Amaya, while she was married. She subsequently got divorced, was a single mom raising Amaya. Met the father of Jaylene in Ecuador. They had a relationship that unfortunately turned violent. While she was pregnant with Jaylene,
Oh my.
he became physical with her.
Oh my.
She came back to Cleveland, never see him again, gave birth to Jaylene. He was never involved in Jaylene's life. She had two daughters on her with the help of her parents. She was struggling emotionally.
Okay, hold on. Two daughters with the help of her parents. Where is Maya? And why didn't Jaylene get taken care of by her parents since they were helping her since she was struggling? Get the fuck out of here. This bitch went to Puerto Rico.
Physically trying to work, support these children. Fast forward to 2023. It's just overwhelming. She even tried to harm herself. Took 20 Motrin, ended up in Metro.
No problem, Rican.
In early February of 23, after spending just a few days in her room alone, her mother went to check on her, asked her what was going on. Her whole side of her body was numb. Didn't know what was going on. They took her to Hillcrest Hospital. She was admitted there, and they were doing some evaluations for her migraine. She was complaining about headaches and weakness, facial drooping, thought it was possible stroke. They put her on IV Depakote.
We don't care.
Seizure, also used to treat manic disorder. And at the end of the day, after evaluations, she was clean, nothing wrong with her brain. They gave her oral Depakote and Effexor, 2 antidepressants, and sent her home. She was not very clear on what those were, but she was taking them supposedly as directed.
Why is he hiding his mouth the whole time?
And there was a note from the doctor saying that she should have had plenty of Effexor, but she's saying that she's out and she needs more. And she's coming back with the same problems. So they had her evaluated again, and they were saying that her anxiety and her stress was the trigger for these physical manifestations. What was happening to her for the loss of sensation inside of her body.
Okay. I'm sorry. She's going through all of this, but supposedly her parents are there supporting her, and no one decided to take care of this baby since she's having all of this depression and all of these physical manifestations that's caused by her stress. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Numbness. And they prescribed her more Depakote,
yep,
more Effexor, and also Atarax to help her sleep because she wasn't sleeping. And this is in March of 2023. And, take the medications as prescribed. And then medications ran out.
Again.
They weren't better, they weren't working, she stopped. Not supposed to do that with these drugs, Your Honor. These are very serious.
Are you making excuses for this bitch?
And you need to be tapered off of these medications, or there could be some side effects. Not only the side effects, but the actual underlying conditions that she may have had or been suffering from.
Is this a public defender or did her parents pay for this attorney?
And then we get into her trip. And I'm not going through that again. That's the worst thing I've ever heard. And I commend the prosecution.
Exactly, KK.
Unimaginable, terrible.
Morning, Scotty Deborah.
To do with that too, and her family as well.
She was busy in the home.
Showed pictures of her on her trip. Pictures can be deceiving.
No, they're not.
Well,
yeah, they are.
For having myself suffer from depression and anxiety, you can't tell.
So let me get this. I'm smiling in Puerto Rico, but I'm really enjoying, I'm really depressed. I'm on the beach. I'm hugged up with this strange man. Well, not the strange man, but with the man that one of the men I'm sleeping with, but I'm really depressed. But I had a blast, according to my phone call to a friend of mine who didn't have the wherewithal to say what you did to your fucking baby. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say fucking. What you did to your child was fucking disgusting. You got these friends you can talk to. You've got your parents who you can talk to, but you didn't have the wherewithal to leave that child with someone as you're gone for 10 or 11 days. Bitch, go to hell.
What a person's going through from a picture, what they're dealing with on the inside. And I'm thankful for the support that I had from my family, my friends, my doctors.
I always wanted to be a defense attorney. I should have kept going to law school because it was a strength to see when I get off.
Nobody knew what she was suffering.
That didn't sound right.
Even thought it was migraines and possible strokes. And to be honest with you, when I first met her, Your Honor, after this happened in June, I met a person that was devoid of emotion.
Really?
After hearing what had happened on the news, and then I get the call, she wants to meet with me, and I go talk to her. It was not what I expected. She had no emotion. She couldn't explain.
But she's gonna have emotion when she gets sentenced.
But I'll tell you right now, this is not the same person.
No, he's not comfortable at all. Hi, and welcome, Alada.
She's been taking them through the prison throughout the whole time that she's been in here.
Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the channel.
Again, there's no justification for her actions when she was out there, what she was doing. She could have called somebody. She could have done this. Yes.
I've been saying that.
You're in that state when you're off medication, mismanaging your thoughts, you're not thinking clearly. Her body just, she had to get out.
She was thinking clearly. She drove to Michigan, slept with one man, then drove and slept with the other man, then went home, packed her bag, then left again and went to Puerto Rico. She was thinking clearly. I'm asking again, did she feed the child when she was there? Did she change her diaper when she was there? You've lied and said you woke up at 7:20 in the morning when there's video of you bringing your stinky hoish ass home at 7:36 in the morning, redressing the baby, no video of that, but redressing the baby and faking a call to 911. Bitch, you were in your right fucking mind. Cut the shit.
And she was having fun. If she was okay, in her mind, Jaylene was okay. Of course, that's not the case. But I will point to when she
needs
did
to be
finally
a
get
general
home.
pop so they can fuck
We
her
heard that
up.
911 call. She didn't want this.
She cleared her
You could
throat
hear that.
and then started acting like she was
Screaming, help me.
need help.
My daughter's dying. Yes, because of your actions, because of what your choices were. And
Look
you take
at her.
responsibility for that. But
Trying to fake a tear.
That call, that one tiny
Hi,
breach
Catherine.
from whatever was going on in her head, that reality that her daughter was dying, she was calling for help. She didn't want that.
Really? Did she think leaving a child alone for 10 days was going to work out for her?
She put the child in danger. Nothing's going to bring Jaylene back. She knows that.
She don't care.
And yeah, after the fact, she, in her state, she was telling detectives whatever. She thought she had another daughter. She had a Maya she didn't think about. She had her parents. And then the prosecution saying that nobody's here on behalf of Jaylene. That's wrong. Her parents are here. They love that girl.
Really?
They love Jaylene. Her mother loved Jaylene.
So why didn't they
She
take care of
deserve
Jaylene?
that. Nobody does. But they're here to talk on behalf of Jaylene as well. They loved her.
Not one time did they mention about what she did to Jaylene.
Parents up to.
Sure. It's the same thing, just please identify themselves, spell their first and last name.
Let's see what the parents have to
Yes.
say.
Robert.
Yep, she's crying now. She's crying for sympathy.
Good morning.
I'm gonna ask, do you want to go first? then?
Exactly, Jennifer.
Identify yourself.
Yo solo voy a hablar.
They've added more pictures of Jaylene.
No, Luis. Yo.
Okay, you say your name?
¿Puedo indicar su nombre?
Katie Torres. Mi nombre.
Katie Torres.
Can you spell it for the record, Robert?
Puede leer de K con K, ¿no? K-A-T-I-Y, ¿cierto?
K-E-T-T-Y.
K-E-T-T. K-E-T-T-Y. ¿Y Torres con S o?
Con S.
Torres.
Torres, T-O-R-R-E-S.
Damn, I can spell that for you. Love you too, JL.
¿Es su nombre?
I understand.
Tu nombre.
I understand, JL.
Clever Candelario.
¿Cómo?
Clever Candelario.
Clever Candelario.
Él no
Clever.
escucha bien. Él no escucha bien. Tiene un problema de audición.
This gentleman has a hearing problem.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, Clever con C.
Con K.
Con
K-L-E-B-R.
K-L-E-V-E-R. ¿Y el apellido?
Candelario con C.
Candelario. Same as that.
You good? Yeah, all right, good.
Okay, bien, señor. Frase cultural.
Excelentísimos jueces de la corte.
Honorable judge of the court.
Con el corazón partido en 1000 pedazos.
With my heart ripped apart in 1,000 pieces.
Pero desde el amor y sostenida por Dios.
Speaking from love.
Thank you. Thank you,
and,
Jennifer.
Maintained by God.
Estoy aquí para decirle al mundo.
I am here to tell the world.
She was posting these pictures on Facebook. So you mean to tell me that her parents didn't ask her, where is Jalen? Where is Jaylene? You didn't ask her, where was this baby? You're posting all these pictures on Facebook. Where is your child?
que mi hija salió de un hogar
That my daughter came from a home
donde se creó una relación de humanismo,
where there was relations of humanism,
valores,
values,
creencias,
beliefs,
afectos,
Affection.
emotions,
calidez,
warmth,
donde lo más importante era la familia.
where the most important thing was the family.
Couldn't have been.
Cristel creció y se formó
Crystal grew up and was educated
en un
Exactly,
ambiente
Carol.
sano junto a sus padres.
in a healthy environment together with her parents,
Protegida y amada.
protected and loved.
Realizó sus estudios en nuestro país natal, Ecuador.
She studied and was educated in our native country of Ecuador.
Oh my God, I
Escogiendo la
can't with
misma
these people.
profesión de su abuelo y sus padres.
And she chose the same profession as her fathers and her grandfather,
La docencia.
teaching.
Sus años de edad adulta
Teaching.
fueron marcados
I don't need.
Her
I'm sick. I don't want
years
to hear
as an
that.
adult were marked
Exactly,
by
KK.
por problemas de salud física y
You didn't learn
sentimentales.
shit.
both physical and emotional problems
Que no siempre terminaron de la
Where
mejor
is the
manera.
oldest
that
daughter?
don't always end up in the best way.
Su salud emocional se vio afectada en más de una ocasión.
Her emotional health was affected on more than one occasion.
Pero entre trabajo, responsabilidades y el día a día,
But between her work, her other responsibilities, and her day-to-day life,
Guys, hit the
en un
like.
ir y
really quick.
venir,
Hit the like.
no logró priorizar la importancia de un tratamiento continuo.
in the middle of all that, she never ended up prioritizing or appreciating the importance of continued treatment.
Por lo que la
She's a
depresión
teacher.
y la ansiedad y el trastorno de neurosis de conversión fueron ganando terreno en su vida.
And because of all that, her depression, anxiety, her conversion neurosis disorder, all ended up consuming her.
Razón por la que siempre sufría desmayos y pérdida del conocimiento.
And as a result of this, she suffered fainting spells.
Oh my
And
God.
also lost
We
of
don't give a fuck.
Con esto no quiero victimizar
Okay,
ni
I can't take
justificar
no
a
more than-
nadie.
In saying this, I don't want to victimize or justify anyone.
That's what you sound
Solo
like you're
mirar
doing.
el yo interior de quien hoy está aquí sentada y siendo juzgada.
I only want to give a glimpse of the interior person, the ego of someone who is seated here.
No, grandma
and
is
who
showing
being
no
judged.
emotions either.
Señores, las enfermedades de salud mental no se reflejan en el rostro.
Ladies and gentlemen, the sickness, a mental health illness is not reflected
Ni
in
en una,
someone's face,
ni en una foto.
and also not in a picture, in a photo.
Nacen y se quedan en el alma
It arises and remains in the soul.
solo un tratamiento a tiempo y eficaz con ayuda de terapistas y médicos ayudan a mejorarlo.
And only a timely and effective treatment by therapists and doctors can help to improve those conditions.
Mi hija no tenía calidad de vida
My daughter did not have a good quality of life
porque ella no podía pausar el trabajo.
because she couldn't stop working.
Nunca nadie imaginó que este sufrimiento terminaría en tragedia.
No one ever imagined that this suffering would culminate in a tragedy.
Y hoy aquí quiero decirle a Yailin
And here I'm.
que eres
here-
nuestro ángel, Yailin.
I want to say here before Jaylene, our angel,
Tu recuerdo vive en nosotros.
that your memory lives within us.
Siempre te amaremos.
We will always love you.
Te acuné en mis brazos.
I held you in my arms.
Tus abuelos nunca te olvidarán.
Your grandparents will never forget you.
Perdóname, bebé,
Forgive me
por vivir la oscuridad del conocimiento
for being in the dark
que me imposibilitó ver la luz y poder ayudar a
and
tu
for being
madre.
in the darkness that prevented me from seeing the light to see what was going on with your mother.
Hija querida, cuánto te amo.
My
my
beloved
God.
daughter, I love you so much.
Lamento y me arrepiento
I lament and I am
por no
so
haber
sorry
por no haber
No, it's
detectado
not helping.
lo que estabas viviendo.
for not having detected what you were going through.
No leí tu corazón.
So now
I
it's her
could not
fault.
see what was in your
Oh my
heart.
God.
No me percaté del caos.
I didn't notice that.
I'm sorry. She said she knew everything that her daughter was going through. So now she's saying she don't and she's crying. She's showing more and more emotions than her fucking daughter who left that child at home alone and she's eating her fucking feces. Disgusting ass people.
The chaos
Por el que estabas
Really
atravesando.
that you were going through.
Lamento ahora, hija de mi vida, causarte este dolor.
I lament my darling daughter that I caused you this pain.
Oh my
Señores
God,
de esta
I can't.
sala,
Your Honor,
pido misericordia,
I ask for mercy.
clemencia y compasión
I ask for mercy, for clemency, and for compassion
para un ser humano
for a human being
que ha librado una dura batalla en su vida.
that has waged a very difficult battle in her life.
Y ruego no satanizarla,
And I beg that you not
ni señalarla.
I beg that you not demonize her and point the finger at her.
¿Quién en esta vida no ha pecado contra Dios?
Who in this life has not sinned against God?
Que levanten la mano quienes
Yep,
no
she
lo han
said
hecho.
clemency. She said
Anyone who
clemency.
hasn't, let them raise their hand.
Pero como creemos en un Dios de amor y de bondad
But since we believe in a
y de,
in a God of love and of goodness
en
Really?
un Dios de perdón,
and a God of forgiveness,
Él está aquí con nosotros.
He is here with us.
Hija, te amo.
My daughter, I
Aquí
Why
love
won't
estaré
you bear for your
siempre para
granddaughter?
ti.
we're here always for
Te
you.
voy a esperar toda la vida.
I'm going to wait by the rest of my life for you.
Sí.
Thank you.
Un momento.
Señores excelentísimos jueces de la corte,
Yes, she does.
Honorable judges of the court,
estoy aquí consternado por todo lo sucedido,
I am shocked by everything that happened,
dándole apoyo moral y espiritual a nuestra hija.
and I am giving moral and spiritual support
Señores
to our
jueces,
daughter Crystal.
Moral
pido compasión,
to the daughter Crystal.
comprensión,
What about the granddaughter?
empatía, misericordia para un ser humano que ha tenido una etapa de su vida cargada de mucho estrés y preocupaciones.
Gentlemen judges,
Las enfermedades mentales
gentlemen judges, I ask for compassion, understanding, empathy, and mercy for someone who is going through a state of stress and mental and emotional illness and worries.
Las enfermedades mentales y emocionales no avisan.
Mental and emotional illness does not give warning.
Cada persona es un mundo
Each person is a world unto herself.
y el mundo interior de mi hija
And the inner world of my
se
daughter
convulsionó.
was shaken.
Sin darnos cuenta,
The volume on that got lower.
la depresión, la ansiedad,
Depression,
la envolvieron hasta hacerle perder el juicio y la razón.
depression and anxiety consumed her to the point of depriving her of good judgment and reason.
Exactly, damn it, Mandy.
Que también tiene un motivo para seguir adelante.
Here's my daughter Crystal, who also has a motive to go forward with your help.
Con la ayuda de ustedes y esa razón,
With your help and with this motive,
Yeah, his volume got real
se
low.
llama Amaya,
her name is Amaya.
que tiene 7 años
She is 7 years old.
y espera ver a su madre
She hopes to
y
see,
abrazarla
and she hopes to see her mother and hug her very soon.
muy
What?
pronto.
Excuse me. Oh my God. Bitch, you getting life in prison.
Imploro,
So where is May?
suplico comprensión.
I beg for your help, forgiveness, and understanding.
I can't.
Hija querida,
She doesn't need to be around any fucking kids anymore.
My beloved daughter, always remember
que nunca te olvidaremos.
that we will never.
A Yailin,
JL, I'm so sorry, sweetie.
mi amada nietecita,
I'm really sorry. I'm serious. Even when my sons were go on vacation and you know they're in the military, and if I saw them posting pictures on Facebook, my first question is, where are the kids? I don't see the kids. Where are the kids? And then my son would call me. He goes, they're here. They were hanging out with some friends. We came as a group. We're all here. You know, or they would say, oh, her mother has them. We're on the, you know, my first thing is, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, but where are the fucking kids? Where are my grandkids? And I know you saw this bitch posting shit on Facebook. I want to know, did they ever ask her where was that baby?
My beloved granddaughter,
que tuvo en mi brazo,
Fucking
que
people.
todos los días tenía que yo amanecer cogiéndola a mi nieta.
Yes, they are, Joe.
Quien extraño mucho,
we miss you very much.
profundamente,
What's wrong with you?
su imagen está grabada en mi recuerdo.
I carry her image always within my memory.
Yailin,
I'm glad I didn't finish watching this at work yesterday. I would have lost my shit.
Jaylene is the light of our life.
Amaya es nuestra esperanza.
Amaya is our hope.
Yep.
Te amo,
Where are the
mamá.
kids?
I love you, my daughter.
Hasta el final de mis días.
Until the end of my days.
You enjoying yourself? Fuck, where are my
Y
grandkids?
aquí estaremos esperando por ti.
And we will be here waiting for you.
Que Dios te dé fuerza, valentía cada día de tu vida.
May God give you strength and courage
Gracias.
every day of your life. Thank you.
Okay, we have another 20 minutes and then it's over with.
Your Honor, just in quick conclusion, when you're contemplating your decision.
She done gained some weight while she was in jail. Oh, look at the tears now. She done gained weight. She's eating. She's drinking. She's not in shit. She's not in a bed soaked with urine.
She finally returned home and called 911.
No, they didn't care.
And wasn't mentioned
I know
earlier,
what she
or-
said. She needs to be put underneath the fucking jail or crucified.
Do whatever she could. And I asked her too, recently.
How's my mother-in-law doing?
Successful. Had the paramedics or yourself been able to revive Jaylene, and she was still here, do you think you belong here?
What happened to the sound?
She said, I don't know, but I was thinking, I don't know, I can't put myself back into that state of mind I was in. She hates herself for it, she thinks of her daughter, and I actually will let her speak now. Thank you.
Ms. Candelaria, you want to stand up and address the court?
Oh, she put her glasses on with her handcuffs.
Your Honor, good morning.
Oh my God. Okay. If everybody was here when this started, when they played the audio of the baby crying, no emotion. When they told of what she did, no emotions. Bitch.
Sorry. Hay mucho dolor que tengo con respecto a la pérdida de mi bebé Yailin.
There's so much pain that I have in regards to the loss of my baby, Jaylene.
Estoy muy dolida por todo lo que
Bullshit.
pasó.
I'm extremely hurt about everything that happened.
No estoy tratando de justificar mis actos,
I am not trying to justify my actions,
pero nadie sabe
Yep, her
cuánto yo
sentence is
estaba
coming.
sufriendo.
but nobody knew how much
Exactly, Jennifer.
Y por lo que estaba pasando.
and what I was going through.
Todos los días le pido perdón a Dios y a mi hija, Yailin.
Every day, I
This is so
ask
sad.
from God and from my daughter, Jaylene.
Soy una persona creyente de Dios.
I'm a person who believes in God.
Y
She believes in God.
reconozco hoy que todos y todas
But you pray for a safe flight.
somos tentados por el enemigo.
And I recognize today that all of us are sometimes subject to the enemy.
Oh, I can't take no more of this bitch.
Dios y mi hija
10 days. She could have flew home at any time.
God and my daughter have forgiven me.
quisiera pedir perdón también a mi hija Amaya
I would also ask
Performance.
Amaya, my daughter Amaya, for forgiveness.
y a mis padres.
And I'd like to ask my parents for forgiveness.
No se imaginan cuánto yo era unida a mi hija Yailin y Amaya.
One can't imagine how close I was to my daughters, Jaylene and Amaya.
Y cuánto nos amábamos.
She was that close that she left her daughter there for 10 days.
Extraño mucho a mis hijas.
I miss my daughters very much.
Hoy nada puede devolverme a Amaya. A Yailin, perdón.
Now, I know that nothing.
Oh my God.
Y no pasa un día que no deje de pensar en ella.
And not a day goes by when I do not think of her.
Really? Did you think about it when you were in Puerto Rico?
Que algún día
Did you think about it when you were fucking those men?
I pray
Did you think
that
about her then?
someday I will see her again.
Knowing you couldn't take care of two, probably get pregnant with a third. Did you think about her then?
And I pray also that one day I can
Really? We can make that happen. You want to be reunited? Mm-hmm. Where the baby daddies? Jalen's dad didn't want anything to do with it. Undoubtedly, they had a tumultuous relationship, and he's still in Ecuador. Now, I don't know where Amaya's dad is and where Amaya is. Did they ever say where Amaya was? Does the grandparents, were they raising Amaya, or is Amaya with the dad and the dad's family? No one, I don't think I heard that yet. I keep hearing the name Amaya.
This court has to impose a sentence here today. And the first thing a judge has to do is look at the purposes and principles of sentencing. That is the sentence
Exactly, undercover.
with these purposes and principles under our revised code 292911A. The overriding purposes is to punish the offender and protect the public from future crime by this offender and others.
Yep.
Using the minimum sanctions that the court determines accomplishes this purpose without imposing an unnecessary burden on state or local government resources. I always have to consider the need for incapacitation, deterrence, rehabilitation, and restitution. The sentence should be commensurate with and not demeaning to the seriousness of the offender's conduct, its impact on the victims, and consistent with sentences for similar crimes by similar offenders. Ms. Candelaria, I am not sentencing you today based on your race, your ethnicity, your gender, or your religion. Do you understand?
Yes.
I sat here, listened, and I'm looking in the back of this courtroom, and I think of Dr. Mooney's statements to me, Sergeant Detective Teresa Gomez, and Detective Powell, and these three experienced, very talented, hardworking individuals all called this one of the most horrific cases they've ever seen. I look in the back of this courtroom and I see law enforcement, I see individuals who have worked on this case who are here because it's also affected them and how horrific this crime is. It stunned people across this world.
Yep, it did.
Because it defies one of the basic human responsibilities.
Exactly.
The bond between a mother and a child is one of the most purest,
yes, it is,
most sacred bonds.
Yes, it is. And you would do anything to defend your child and protect your child.
Trust and unwavering protection. Yet, in a shocking and betrayal of this fundamental trust, you committed the ultimate act of betrayal, leaving your baby terrified, alone, unprotected, to suffer what I heard was the most gruesome death imaginable, with no food, no water, no protection, and lying in her own feces. Ms. Candelaria, you know the responsibility of parenting.
Yes, you do.
You
Get her.
have a child already. You raised another child. And I've witnessed here before me your parents who showed you love and respect and education. And they came here to help you,
He's pissed.
to advocate for you, more than what you've done for your own child.
Yep.
The evidence that I've witnessed here before this court shows that this time you simply chose not to be here because you wanted to have fun.
My question is, how does he have this already written up if he's just hearing the evidence now? Because he's reading off of this damn paper. I saw him writing something, but damn, it's stapled and everything.
You decided you needed a vacation. And what followed was absolute depravity. You left your baby, Jalen, trapped in a pack and play without food and water for 10 days. This wasn't simply an oversight. You could have saved Jalen's life many times.
Yep, she could have.
You could have found someone to watch her.
I said
while
that.
you were gone. You could have taken her with you. While you were in Detroit or Puerto Rico, you could have called someone in Cleveland.
I said
and told
that.
them that Jalen needed help.
I said that.
Dr. Mooney indicated that rigor mortis was found when they found her, which means she didn't die that long before you came home. Think about that. Despite all of her suffering, that little baby persevered, waiting for someone to save her.
Yeah, it's handwritten notes.
And you could have done that with a simple phone call.
Yep, she could have. And I said that, Judge.
Instead, I see photos of you on a beach.
I said that
Your
too.
child was eating her own feces.
Oh, damn, I said that.
Photos mean something. And I'm well aware of mental health. But didn't look like you were too concerned about your child.
Oh my God. I did not finish listening to this. I need to be a judge. I said that. Oh my goodness.
As if that wasn't bad enough, you extended your stay in Detroit without regard to Jalen, alone, in pain, clawing her face in distress from the exhibits I just looked at, trapped in a tiny prison that you left her in. When you got home, you knew enough to start lying.
Oh my God.
You concocted story after story, trying to hide what you did. You even put pants on her.
Oh my God.
And you couldn't hide the absolute horror and filth that she spent the last days of her life in.
Hi, Debbie.
You still didn't get it. I hear this morning that you went out and managed to go out with someone that you were with, and he was too upset to eat, but you weren't.
Yep. This was the next day.
And then I hear that you're in jail and you're telling people, I can't wait to get home. I look at remorse. I hear, except for the acceptance of responsibility, no remorse.
No remorse.
As a court, I have to remember Jalen, where you did not.
Get her ass.
Just as you didn't let Jalen out of her confinement until she died,
Ooh!
You should spend the rest of your life in a cell without freedom.
Ooh!
The only difference will be that prison will at least feed you. and give you liquids that you deny her. Based on all these factors, and based on all the things I've looked at, and I'm marking this as State's Exhibit 1 for the court recorder. On count 1,
Get her ass. I said the same thing. I'm going to be a judge.
I'm going to sentence you to life in prison
Yes.
without the possibility of parole. On count 5, I'm going to sentence you to 8 years to run concurrent to count 1. I'm going to tell you, Crystal, this is probably one of the most difficult.
He had 5 counts. He's only sentenced to her on 2. The other ones.
And to see. And I can tell you that I appreciate.
Why is he hiding his mouth?
The state of Ohio presented this matter in a professional way, and the defense has acted in a professional way.
Look the evil on her face.
Do you have the money or means to hire a lawyer at this time? No. All right. I'll appoint a lawyer to represent her.
Oh, he's talking to her. That's why he's hiding his mouth.
Children, because of the Reagan-Tokes thing, it would be 8 to 12 years.
8 to 12 years endangering children.
Is there anything else, Mr. Smith, on behalf of the defense? Nothing further. Anything on behalf of the defense?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. Thank you. Court's adjourned.
Okay. So, court's adjourned. And yeah, that's why he was hiding his mouth. I realize that now. Life without the possibility of parole, where she's going to be fed and have liquids. I didn't watch the rest of this. I stopped when TJ was up there talking, when he read the poem. I couldn't do it anymore. And there's Jalen. I couldn't do it. And the same things that I've been saying, she could have called someone. She could have called anyone to help that child. And she never did. I think life without parole is too good for her. I'm sure in Ohio they don't have the death penalty. Well, they probably do, but okay, life without parole, that's fine. He told her she has the right. So that attorney that she has, she paid for. He asked her, do you have the means to hire an attorney? And he said that she can get a court-appointed attorney. This shit is disgusting. Disgusting. Jalen, may you rest in peace, and you did not deserve to have a mother or grandparents like you have, because I'll be damned if I saw my daughter in Puerto Rico knowing she has a baby at home and I don't ask her, where is your child? Plus 8 to 12 years, she's not getting out. And he said she had no remorse. He said it. She had no remorse. Fuck her and the hole she came out of. Sorry. He said he saw no remorse. None of us saw remorse. So with that, I'm just like, I'm going to have to get going. But thank you, guys. I have my Lacey Peterson live set for 1:30. If I find that I'm running a little late, I probably push it back 10 minutes. But I am going to do it because I need to get that one done so we can hear what was actually found instead of what they were writing in the paper. She should have got the needle, but they're not going to. She needs to be treated like a piece of shit. I'm pissed too, but it costs more to execute a prisoner than it does to house them for life. I did that paper in college. It costs more. It costs more to put a prisoner to death than when it does to house them for life. It's just disgusting. When I first heard about it, and then I knew she wasn't going to trial, she pled. I'm like, okay, but she did this with sympathy. Where is Amaya? Is Amaya living with the grandparents? From what they sounded like they were saying, Amaya can't wait to hug her mom again because she loves her. So are they in? Is Amaya with them, or is Amaya with her? Yeah. Oh, I love you too, JL. She does, Carol. She needs to be treated the same way she treated that child. She's on the beach. She's having fun. And you're talking about her mental issue. Bitch had no mental issue. Her only mental issue is she's a selfish piece of trash that cared nothing for her daughter's well-being. We can take it further. The house could have caught on fire. Somebody could have broke in that house. She gave no fucks about her child. That's true, damn it, Mandy. I didn't think about that. And then I wanted to discuss the case, but I'm going to do that with the guy that poisoned, that brought his wife, the cop that brought his wife poison food and she was pregnant. That one I'm definitely going to do as well. So anything could have happened. That house could have caught on fire. And what I want to know is when the neighbors heard the baby crying, they didn't see the mother's car. Did anybody think to go check on that child? You don't see the mother's car there, but you hear a baby crying. You hear the baby crying. You haven't seen the car there. Why didn't they go check? You know it had to be next door. Your ring camera is picking up the sound. Did they go check the next day? Did they knock on the door? Or did they think, oh, what? You have to wonder. I need to find these people because I definitely want to interview them. That's what I was thinking when I heard that baby crying. 1 something in the morning, and this child was crying and crying and crying. Does anybody not check their Ring cameras the next morning? And to think that baby didn't die till right before she came, and her eyes are wide open and sunken in. How could you even redress your child? And then to clear her throat before she starts that false ass fucking screaming. I'm going to tell you guys again. When you call 911, a really good friend of mine, well, I have 3 friends that work as dispatchers. I would hear some of the craziest shit in Houston. Yep, until she went into a coma. I bet these neighbors are going to start checking Ring cameras now. It shouldn't take this tragedy to happen, but she could have called anybody when she was in Puerto Rico. She would have been in trouble. She would have lost custody. She would have spent some time in jail for child abandonment or maybe had probation. But bitch, now you got life in prison without the possibility of parole. And I still think that's too good for you. So you guys enjoy your day. I got to get dressed. I got to get out of here. I will see you later. Thank you for being here this morning. I really, really appreciate it. Hope to see you guys back when I discuss Lacey. I said lazy. I saw amazing and I said lazy. So everybody have a great day. I will check you guys out later. But Jennifer, go check out Bomb doing her live on Risa Tessa. And she warned everybody in the chat. I love you too, JL. Don't tell me, because she was listening and commentating at the same time. She had never heard all 50, 51 or 52 now. But go check her out. I was laughing so hard. I wanted to tell her, but then she started talking. I'm like, okay, she gets it. So I love you guys. I will talk at you later. And hit the like, guys, please. Thank you. I'm out of here. Have a great, great day. I'll see you later, hopefully. Bye, guys.